What's up, guys? We are back with a video for you today. It has been a little bit since I've done one of these longer form videos. That's mostly just work stuff going on, my day job. I did about 20 days in a row between my day job and card shows leading up to this past weekend. And then I had 3 days off this weekend. On Saturday, I went to a couple of different card shows. One in Hartford, that was the Vendor House, and then one at 518 Cards and Collectibles in Albany. So that was a really not much of a rest day. It was about 5 hours in the car, four-ish hours at shows. So that was pretty busy day. But Sunday, well, I had to shovel Sunday, as we all did if you're in New England area or a lot of the country, I guess. And so I had to shovel Sunday, so some rest there. And yesterday I got to rest a little bit. I took that off from work, just let the plows do their thing and all that. But today, Tuesday, we are back at work. I'm just wrapping up today, headed home for the day, and just figured I'd do one of these videos. So, few things to talk about. The shows this past weekend. Had a lot of fun at the shows. Got some really sweet cards, some cool inventory for my upcoming shows, especially singles, but got a few really cool slabs as well. I got some really cool cards for my personal collection, which you guys will see in the coming weeks. And yeah, it was a great time. Saw a lot of people. I saw a lot of familiar faces. Saw some people, or met some people that I didn't know previously. And it's, first of all, it's nice to walk around a card show for a change. I don't get to do that too often now because most of the time I am vending. So that was cool. It was also a really good time getting to focus a little more on some personal collection goals, because I don't do a ton of that, to be honest, either. When you're in vendor mindset, you really have to be discerning about the things that you want to actually keep, because you will, half the things that you pick up, you'll say, oh, this is cool, I would like to have one of these, this would look good on my shelf, whatever, but you can't keep everything, or you're not going to be successful in the vending space. And so this weekend was nice because I think I added around $500 in personal collection stuff, which doesn't happen very often. So excited for you guys to see some of that. And related to that, and both of those small shows were good. I think the Vendor House might be a little far for me to go for a smaller one-day show as a vendor, but 518 show, I think I may vend that at some point. Seems pretty solid, and it's only like an hour away from my house, so that's nice. But related to the personal collecting things that I got this past weekend, something that I've been doing since last time that I made one of these longer videos was I've started doing these short form videos in a series about my Japanese vintage swirls only binder collection. And I've been watching Deep Pocket Monsters or Pat Flynn for quite a while, and he started doing this 30 videos over 30-day challenge for kind of like people that are interested in content creating. It's sort of like a big challenge. Can you make 30 short form videos over 30 days and be consistent about it, and upload them to Instagram and YouTube? And so my idea for doing something like that on my channel was to take you guys in to the journey that I'm on collecting Japanese, everything from base set to the end of Neo era, and only hollows, but they all have to have swirls on them, every card. So this includes all the main sets, so base and jungle, fossil, Gym Heroes, Rocket, and then all the Neo sets, Discovery through Destiny, and also it includes some promos, like CD promos I would like to pick up at some point, Game Boy promos, Neo file, so there's like some specialty stuff, and that's kind of for the past 3 or 4 months, because really when I started vending for the first like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 months until I moved back up to Massachusetts, I really kind of like shied away from doing any personal collection goal, really. I'd picked up a couple things, and most of them were things that I graded myself that I got back and I was hyped on having in my collection, so I kept them. But I hadn't really set like a big goal or anything like that. And so, but I decided, because I'm a big fan of vintage, I'm a big fan of Japanese, and I am a big fan of hunting for not just I gotta have every card in this set, or I gotta have every hollow, but it's gotta be like the card. Like, so, for, if you watch my posts or whatever, like one of the only slabs in my personal collection that I really don't plan on ever selling is CD promo Snorlax PSA 10. And the reason that I bought that slab over all the other slabs, it's not because that's my favorite card of all time, although it is a sick card and I love the CD promos and I love Japanese exclusive stuff. The reason that I bought that card and kept it, or that slab and kept it, is because it has a swirl perfectly placed right above the Snorlax hand. Like, just perfect. And it's a fat swirl, and it just really completes the card, in my opinion. In my opinion, if you're a vintage collector, the hunt, for me personally, is about getting a sick swirl or a great hollow pattern, or hopefully both, and it being in the right position and it looking just perfect on the card. So for my personal collection, that's what I'm starting with. Is I love vintage, I love Japanese, and I love hunting. Specifically, it's got to be like the best version of that card. And so this sort of collection challenge for me is just kind of perfect as to what I love about Pokemon and collecting Pokemon cards. So that's been really fun. I've kind of had mixed results on specifically YouTube. like 3 or 4 of my videos or my shorts that I've uploaded to YouTube have like cracked over 1,000 views, and they did so in like the first day. And then the other half, or it may be more than half at this point, just get no views. And I don't really know why. I haven't figured out why. I don't really have a good idea of why. So, you know, if you're watching this and you have any experience creating short form content and YouTube shorts specifically, do you have any input or ideas or anything like that? I am open to feedback and suggestions and advice. I'd much appreciate it. On Instagram, it's been just cool. It's been fun. I've had, you know, pretty steady sort of regular like counts, comment counts, that sort of stuff. But it does obviously help to do short form, and it helps to do, you know, every day. So it's been fun. I've been enjoying it, and I am planning on completing the 30 days. I did miss one day yesterday, but, you know, I'm going to do 30 of them pretty much back to back every day. And then out of necessity of not being able to do, you know, add a card per day to my collection of this very specific and at times somewhat costly collection goal here, I'll probably cool it down to like twice a week or something like that at a certain point. But for the next 22 days or so, it's going to be a daily thing. So tune in and watch the binder fill up. And like I said, I've really been enjoying it and been enjoying the feedback and the chase for the cards. I got some really, really cool ones over the weekend. So you will see those in the next couple weeks. I also made a TikTok. So just to share the short form reels, content, videos, whatever. So go follow Pokey Sky with 2 Y's if you are on TikTok. I don't know. I figured I'm already uploading it to these other 2 platforms. It's literally like 3 buttons to also share it to TikTok. And I said, well, I might as well stop being such a boomer and do the things. Yeah, and then it's on YouTube. That's also Pokey Sky, 2 Y's, and Instagram. So with that out of the way, the other thing, I guess, that I wanted to briefly mention was my last video that I made for YouTube, my last long form video, one of these driving around. I got a couple of interesting comments, and I thought I'd just briefly mention them. One of them, the easy one to talk about real quick, no big deal. But somebody had made a comment like, oh, well, I don't know if you know this, but it's not safe to drive when you're making videos. It's so dangerous and you're going to hurt somebody and blah, blah, blah. And to that, I would like to say, I think that's more of a comment on your ability to drive and multitask than anything else. Literally every person that drives does not keep their eyes on the road 100% of the time. Every person that drives listens to music or talks to the people in their car or talks on their phone or whatever. And I'm a pretty safe driver, pretty good driver, and don't worry, it'll be recorded if I ever get in an accident due to making videos. So I don't know. It's just a funny comment. I think it's more of a Karen situation than anything. But it's just funny because it's literally, I press one button, I press record, and then I just talk to you guys for half an hour while I drive. It's not, I mean, I just looked at the camera, but, you know, do you look at a house over here and over there when you drive? Yeah, we all do. That's how driving works, guys. So don't worry about it. It'll be okay. You'll be okay. I'll be okay. Safety first, though, guys. The other comment, which I found more interesting and funny and was really the funny part about it was that the video was about why I stopped collecting magic so much and why I switched to Pokemon collecting and investing, if you want to call it investing or whatever. This guy got really upset about it and said, you know, oh, well, Pokemon can have all the hoarders, blah, blah, blah. Magic is for playing. And if you're on my Instagram, you saw I made a meme about it because it's like, I mean, Magic has printed, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of unique cards at this point, probably. And very few of them are playable in any format currently. Very few. With Commander being in the mix, at best, still, 10, no, can't be 10, 5% of all cards ever printed are playable in decks of any sort of power level above, like, purely, like starter deck quality. So, like, what should happen, in this guy's opinion, to the other 95% of cards? Well, no, you better not be hoarding them. It's also very confusing to me because, like, this guy is using the term collect and hoard interchangeably. And I just don't think that they're the same thing. And even if I was hoarding a card, you know, like people do these like buyouts of certain cards from time to time, try to corner the market on a certain card or whatever. Even if you are doing that, it's just kind of like, but if it's not a playable card that goes in a deck, like, why would you care? And I just don't understand, like, you know, sort of like, it's one of these things where, like, people love to, they love to pocket watch, you know, like, if you're doing well or you're making money or you're having success, these people have, like, they think they're going to chime in and they're going to denigrate you and they're going to rain on your parade and literally, like, near 100% of the time, those people are just bitter and miserable and they've got nothing going on in their life. So they want to use all that expertise in living a fulfilled life that they don't have, and they want to tell you how to live your life, which is funny. But anyway, it's just, the guy kind of just illustrated my point, which was the funny part about it. It's like, you don't really, I mean, there is a little bit of this in the Pokemon space, but you don't come across it nearly as much. Whereas in Magic, it is widespread, and, you know, game piece army, as Rudy from Alpha Investments calls them. Like, you know, if you're making any sort of savvy financial move in a collectible market, these people will just think that you care about their opinion about what you're doing with your life. And I mean, it's totally fine. You are allowed to, you know, I put out content, you're allowed to comment on it. I often tell people, send me hate mail. Like, it's all good. Do what you got to do. However, I'm not going to be nice back to you if that's the way you approach me. And this guy kind of found that out, and then sort of, because we went back and forth like quite a few times in the comments to this video, and I was not being kind, but it's like, if you approach me that way and you're being salty in the comments, then I'm not going to be nice to you. And anybody who's met me at shows or interacted with me in person, I'm pretty nice. I'm pretty easy to get along with. I'm pretty chill and relaxed, and I don't really have beefs with people. I don't have personal beefs. I don't do any of that stuff. However, if you're going to be a jerk in my comments, I can be much meaner than you. So that's a warning. If you're going to comment troll, go ahead, have your fun, but I won't be nice back. So just a little warning to those who think I care about your opinion. I don't. And truthfully, at the shows this weekend, it was the closest I've gotten to buying Magic collection pieces, and it was just almost in a spiteful, oh, these guys don't want me to collect Magic, fine, I'll just pick stuff up, I'll just buy it anyway, I don't care. And I don't know, I didn't end up doing that because I was focused on my Pokemon stuff, but yeah, I don't quite get the mentality. I guess I do, but I just can't relate. If it really upsets you that people are collecting and having fun and stuff like this, then I don't know, I think it says a lot more about you than it does about them. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I think something that I have noticed is, well, actually, forget that. One of the other thing that I just wanted to briefly mention about this exchange I had with this person was that they said something along the lines of, oh, if you are investing in collectibles and cards, you're an idiot. You should be in the stock market instead. And truthfully, that was the most confusing thing about the whole exchange. Everything else totally adds up. It's yeah, there's some guy, he's mad because he doesn't have infinity money just like everybody else, and he doesn't have everything he wants, and he's really upset that somebody else is enjoying a hobby that he thinks they should enjoy a different way. That all checks out. People are like that. People can be miserable, and they love to try to make other people miserable. Misery loves company, blah, blah, blah. The thing that doesn't make sense is to be living in the year 2026 and to think that investing in collectibles is not a thing still. I mean, I could understand that in 2000, 2005, 2010, 2015, say even after the crash, after the COVID bubble, the big COVID bubble, remember, things went to all-time highs, and then they stopped being at all-time highs for a year and a half, maybe, before they returned to all-time highs and have been growing ever since, remember? So even in that crash, I can kind of wrap my head around, oh, some people are not convinced that this is real. But to be living in the year 2026 and thinking that the collectible space is not an investment category, like a real investment category, man, you must have some good friggin' weed, bro. And truthfully, because I do mess with the stock market. I don't know if you guys do. I do mess with crypto. Don't know if you guys do. Let me know. The collectible space, in my opinion, specifically Pokemon, Magic to some extent, and potentially in the future, or, you know, right now, but sort of tentatively still new, One Piece, especially sealed product. To think that by being a bear, or not even a bear, just saying that's not an investment category. I mean, you're living in an absolutely, like, complete delusion. Just a total delusion. And truthfully, I think Pokemon specifically, and specifically sealed product, is no more risky than the stock market at large or the crypto market at large. Truthfully, the stock market at large is risky, like very risky. Of course, if you're buying like ETFs or S&P 500 or, you know, sort of any sort of conglomerate of stocks, and especially sort of like the blue chips, yeah, there's ways to be, you know, to have lower risk in the space than other strategies. But investments are, by their nature, risky, because if it was guaranteed money, there'd be no reason not to invest. You'd be an idiot not to invest if the money was guaranteed. The risk is what brings the reward. So, with all that being said, it's just wild to me that people think that there's still probably a not insignificant chunk of sort of cardboard hobbyists, or whatever you want to call them. Because apparently collecting is bad. Don't collect. You're hoarding if you collect. Play the games. Play the games. It's for games. It's for 10-year-olds, says the 35-year-old man with no kids. But to pretend that it's not an investment category at this point in the game, I mean, you're welcome to have that opinion, but you're wrong. And you will continue to be mad for decades to come that you never got on the train. That's my take. That's my opinion. I think that's the video, guys. Let me know what you think. Coming up next month, we've got 3 shows. 1 month, 3 shows. On February 8th, I will be at Western Mass Card Shows. That is in Chicopee, Mass. First time doing that show. I've heard nothing but good things about it. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Then on the 22nd, I will be returning to the Truck Bar hosted by Hard Hittin Card Shows. That is down in Connecticut. And then to wrap up the month, on the 28th of February and March 1st, I will be back at the Pokemon Outlet once again. The last show at the Pokemon Outlet was awesome. Had a great time. Probably, even though we got quite a bit of snow on that Saturday. It was probably the best Pokemon outlet show we've had so far. Sundays continue to be slept on by the vendors. About half as many vendors show up on Sunday as Saturday, and the rest of us vendors have a great Sunday because of it. So that show is going to continue to get better. I have no doubt. I will be there every month for the foreseeable future, unless it conflicts with like a really big show that I want to do. And then also I have booked March 14th and 15th, GoneBroke Con. That's in Springfield. That's going to be a big one. And I have also booked the next Foxwood show through Hard Hittin Cards. That's in May. So got a lot of shows booked, guys. We're going full steam ahead. The inventory is looking the best it's ever looked. We're moving a lot of slabs and vintage singles. I am starting to, I think, develop a rep as a vintage sort of a go-to for vintage collectors, which is right where I'd like to be going forward. And I'm really excited about what the rest of the year has to bring. So follow along. Thanks for watching. If you watched the whole video, go drop a like and a comment and a subscribe and a share and all that stuff. And send your hate mail. And go follow on Instagram and TikTok as well. PokeSky, 2 Ys. Hope to see you guys soon. We'll probably do some more of these. It's been a little bit, like I said, but I will, I'll pick them back up, and hope to see you guys at some shows soon. And yeah, talk soon, guys. Thanks. Later.